What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just typed your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty, you know. Why don't you call me? What's your relationship status? I seen it on Facebook, and I just typed your name just to see how your face look, and it was salty. Why don't you call me, girl?
And that lead us into this right motherfucking segue. Relationship status. First and foremost, flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we're gonna talk about today's goddamn energy before I go live tonight, because I'm going live tonight, and we're going all the way in on motherfucking 2019, and this full circumference energy, this full surroundings, everything is coming to a full circle kind of energy. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about your goddamn friends that some of y'all need the motherfucker end. But before we even get into this live stream tonight, it's also going to be a Q&A. But we're going to talk about today's motherfucking energies. And the reason why I titled this video, Relationship Status, and even my song was a good segue to this, because here, you got the sun in Capricorn, and you got the moon in motherfucking Libra. So the moon is motivating the sun. That's what you always need to know. Mama rules the goddamn house. So the house is in the sky, the moon is the closest to us, so she's controlling the tides, the motherfucking vibes in the goddamn sky, your motherfucking waters, your subconscious realm. So don't ever get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Wherever the moon is at, that's what we reacting to first. We're responding to first. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's the world that we are experiencing at the moment. So whatever sign the moon is in, that's the world we in. That's how spirits come here. And to us as spirits, that just looked like water. So before we even got here, that just looked like a pool of water. The moon. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, this is how we get here. Now, when you got the moon in motherfucking Libra, Libra is cardinal air, initiating and creating, that's cardinal, and then air, thinking and communicating. Air, So when you got initiating and creating, thinking and communicator, you see what I'm saying? Then that air is constructed in a whole different way. So this is what's making the moon feel comfortable. This is what making mama feel comfortable. So we are reacting and responding to balance, seeing things from other people's point of views, relationships, how you relate. You know what I'm saying? How the way you relate and how you act is going to affect others in the way that they relate and how they act. All this kind of energy, even justice. And I'm not talking about the goddamn police force. Even though a lot of Libras don't mind being detectives or don't mind being police officers, but for the most part, the justice energy is come from a different energy signature. Actually, justice, which y'all look at in law, came after the fact. That's something that's utilizing that energy signature to do what they want with it. But justice itself is an energy signature of its own, and all Libras understand that. So this is why Libras understand when someone is getting the short end of the stick. This is why Libras fight for those people, even if the Libra end up getting the short end of the stick. So that's what you need to understand. Libras understand justice to a goddamn T. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's just with that energy, it might just get lost into this realm of reality to making a lot of Libras think that they have to be cops or police officers and shit like that. But it's just another type of thing. Now, when we talk about so it's dealing with all relationships. So this is what we're reacting and responding to. Now, when it get into the sun is in Capricorn. So the sun is what we see, is what we're paying attention to. It's what's being created in front of us. It's what we can see, the light. It's the fire also. So it's actually what we are imagining at the moment also. So that sun, all that energy, what we are imagining and what we are seeing and what is manifesting and what's being created is being back to supported by the energy signature of Capricorn. So Capricorn is cardinal Earth. Cardinal, initiating and creating, and you got Earth, thinking and being practical. So for the most part, when you bring these two together, this is a person who likes to utilize what makes sense in order to gain stability in their lives. And since it's cardinal, it's going to do that in a business-orientated way, or a step-by-step orientated way, or a way that's looking like you're trying to build something. So for the most part, whatever in front of you that needs to be used, that's what's going to be needed to be used in order for you to be seen in the way that you want to be seen in this realm of reality. So when we got the sun being in Capricorn, right? The sun being in Capricorn right now, we are paying attention to status, how you are seen, what you are known. God damn, I keep forgetting to delete the last videos before I start recording another video. I keep forgetting that motherfucking shit on this fucking phone. That's why I don't use this goddamn phone no more, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we getting into the sun being in Capricorn. So with the sun being in Capricorn, This puts us in a situation where we're paying attention to status. We're paying attention to what we're known for. We're paying attention to how we're seen. We're also paying attention to what other people are known for, how they're seen, how they gain stability in their lives, their status in this world that we are in at the moment. So this is what we're paying attention to. This is what we're trying to make sense out of. And this is what we're trying to initiate and create a thinking pattern out of. This is what we're trying to initiate and create a way of making sense out of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's cardinal. So for the most part, with the sun being there, we're all adding our imagination and our idea to forms of status, to forms of popularity, to forms of ways of being seen, to forms of ways of being known, to forms of ways of to creating a status. You see what I'm saying? We're all initiating and creating a new way, or initiating and creating a new way of how to think and be practical about things that's dealing with status, things that's dealing with popularity, whether it's dealing with yours or someone else's, or how to get from point A to point B and gain stability in your life, whether it's yours or others. So this is what we're adding to. This is what we're paying attention to with the sun. Now, reason why I call this relationship status, because the moon motivates the sun. So if the moon is in the relationship sign and the sun is in the status sign, then right now everybody is concerned with their relationship status. You see what I'm saying? The status of their relationship. So for the most part, this is what's going on today, heavily today, and like kind of late last night, but heavily today, because you know we got the motherfucking moon being in Libra. So keep that in mind. So with the moon being in Libra, this puts us in a circumstance, a situation where people want to look at their relationship status. So people want to know the status of all their relationships. Even you do. You feeling that right now. Right now, you want to see what's your status into a person you're in a relationship with. Not just your mate, but your siblings, your like family members and shit like that, your friends, associates, and then down to your mate. Right now, you want to know the status. So right now, you're willing to communicate because you're reacting and responding to communicating and relating to others and seeing things from other people's point of view. This is what you're reacting and responding to at the moment. And then what you want to see from it is the status of it, or the positioning of it, or what's the sense of this. So right now, relationships can be broken up right now, or relationships can be had right now. Happy homes could be broken up from cheating, or a new realization on how a relationship's supposed to be is happening right now. All these kind of energies is happening right now. Now, it's not going to be like that tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow, you're going to start to feel the sense of the deepness of it. See, it's always a story. That's what you need to know. Don't just think a sign is in one sign and then that's it. It goes into another sign. That it makes a story. And that story, based upon the other transits, they all make different stories every year. So you may think you experiencing the same day. No, you just experiencing a day that you are immersed and you're facing in that current, that light, that wave that's raining down on you, that star. So yeah, you're just experiencing a day. But when we start to calculate what days are, this is why you are experiencing different events within the days, because that day that's raining down on you as far as influence in that fluid is aligning with different days, other stars. So the current, the fluid, the wave is coming down in a different alignment. So when you pick up the influence and express it through your body, you end up playing out the transits or the story of that day, week, month, year. So this is why every year play out different events. This is why every day play out different events. You see what I'm saying? Because every day, every star aligned with a different star in a different way, aka what we call transits in astrology. So for the most part, you need to know that it's a movie. So right now, with the moon being in Libra, the movie is forcing us to react and respond to relationships and how we relate to people, places, and things, and initiating and creating new ways of how to think and communicate about these things. Anytime a person, by default, then all Libras got this by default. Anytime it's because it's cardinal air, initiating, creating, cardinal air, thinking and communicating. So anytime you got that energy, you have no choice but to be the type of person to always try to create and initiate a new way of how to think and communicate about something. So you have to be the type of person that's like diplomatic. You have to be the type of person in order for you to initiate and create. And see, every cardinal sign is different, just like every fixed sign is different, and every mutable sign is different, because y'all do it in your own elemental ways. So keep that in mind. This will make Libra the diplomats out of the air signs. You know what I'm saying? Geminis is not that diplomatic. A Gemini switch up on your ass in a second, you know, and act diplomatic. You know what I'm saying? And an Aquarius will let you know up front that they not agreeing with you, but they still know how to communicate with your ass. So they know how to be the same. I mean, they know how to agree to disagree. Libras, You know what I'm saying? They may dive into both of those natures. See, that's how the cardinal signs dive into both because they're too busy trying to initiate a new thing. So they have to drain from fixed sometimes. They have to drain from mutable sometimes. But then they don't have a space of their own. So cardinal signs is always trying to find a space because they're constantly trying to initiate a new space from the space that they always in. So they never hone in on the space that they in like a fixed sign, or they never understand the space that they in like a mutable sign. They're constantly trying to initiate a new space, aka slow the fuck down and calm down. You see what I'm saying? So when you got the moon being in Libra, the story is making us react and respond to our relationships right now. Now, since the sun is in Capricorn, we reacting to our relationships. We want to know the status of it. The sun ain't in Sag. We don't want to know the wisdom and knowledge from it. The sun ain't in Scorpio. We don't want to know the deepness of our relationships. And the sun ain't in Aquarius. We're not trying to communicate and create a unique relationship amongst our relationships. The sun is in Capricorn. We want to know that we want to see, we want to know, we want to experience, we want to pay attention to the status of our moon in Libra right now, relationships. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you understand the energy. Now, when the moon is going into Scorpio, right? And that's going to be tomorrow. Now, for the most part, when the moon slide her monkey ass into Scorpio, it's putting us in a circumstance, in a situation where now we're reacting and responding to the deep things, the deep secrets, what's behind the scenes, what's beneath the veil. And since the sun gonna still be in Capricorn, right? We want to see the status of beneath the scene shit. We want to see the status of a lie. We want to see the status of a manipulation. So right now, when the moon going to Scorpio and the sun going to Capricorn, and the sun still in Capricorn, more exposing gonna be going on. See, we in a heavy energy of exposing right now, like I explained in my last video. That's why y'all see all these rappers getting exposed, movie actors and actresses getting exposed at the moment, because we're in a big exposing type of energy. It even has spilt off into the conscious community, and now there's a lot of exposing going on in the conscious community. That's why we ain't in that shit. So we in the subconscious community. But for the most part, we understand that. We understand consciousness because we the subconsciousness. So we seeing everything. So for the most part, but me letting y'all know, I've been told y'all these energies was happening. You know what I'm saying? So don't get washed up by the current. Don't get washed up by these energies out here, because the transits is the overall current. So it's easy for all of us to get washed up in that one. Like my last video of getting washed up by the current is how we get lost in each other's currents. But goddamn, we in a big ass current. So goddamn, we all be lost in that goddamn shit. So when the moon is in Libra, you need to react and respond to being relatable and seeing things from another person point of view, and being able to articulate it or communicate that the best way as possible. Now, for example, we all forced to do that, but we all not going to be capable of doing that to the full potential, because for the most part, you're going to have some people who automatically got their moons in air. But then you're going to have some people who, like me, who got their moon in fire. So it's going to be kind of harder for me to do that at this time than others. But as long as I know my natal alignment, I know what to do and what not to do, because I know what I'm working with. See, astrology is not about you getting lost in your ego, your solar system. Astrology is about knowing what your ego is. So you don't have to go through experiences of being proven wrong, because you're in an area full of other currents, full of other egos. So if you know what you're capable of and know what you're not capable of, therefore you know what to experience, and you know what experience to jump out of when you start to manifest shit that don't correlate to your energies. Therefore, you don't have to experience no letdowns, and therefore you know what state of being to put yourself in, so you can experience what you want to do. Therefore, you won't be following other people on trying to get from point A to point B, because the way they got from point A to point B may not be the same way you know how to get from point A to point B. And you wasting your time trying to get from point A to point B in their elemental astrology mixture, it's gonna make you waste time and create frustrations in your life, and to the point that you realize, like, goddamn, I'm wasting my goddamn time. See what I'm saying? So for the most part, the moon being in Libra, it's gonna be a little harder for my moon in fire. So it's gonna be a little harder for my moon in air. For my moon in waters. It's going to be a little harder for my moons in earths. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, we're going to have to learn from our sun, moon, and ascendant air signs out there. Because the sun air signs is going to be the example for us tonight on how we're supposed to react and respond. They're going to be the physical representation based upon their actions, going to be the example on on what we should do and how we supposed to react and respond, right? Then on my air moon signs, right? Their vibrations, even if they're communicating or not, you being around them, their system vibration should be an example on and how they're carrying themselves. Should be an example on how we supposed to react and respond if you got a moon, water, air, or water, earth, or fire, and then an air sign ascendant, an air sign's personality, how they're expressing themselves and shit like that. That will be how, and their personality. If you're around an air personality sign, air ascendant, then if you are a moon, fire, water, or earth, then you need to pay attention to their personality, because that'll be a good cheat code for you to know how to react and respond. Now, it may feel a little bad because it may feel like this ain't you. You may feel like you acting like somebody else or something like that, but it's for the sake of you to go over fluid before you go dive into your whole strong moon energy and end up manifesting a situation that you going against the wave, aka a situation that wasn't in your favor, whether it's dealing with a conversation or a person, a place, or thing. See what I'm saying? So the shit is deep. So right now, the moon right now is in Libra. So right now, tonight, if you decide to go out, because it's the holiday weekends and shit like that, you deciding to go out, just know that try to see things from other people's point of view and try to see a balance of things and react and respond to your relationships. Make sure whatever you getting ready to do is not affecting the people that's around you in a negative way, and you should be fine. And then try to pay attention to the status. Because if the status of something ain't really prestige or doesn't make sense, then you need to relate to what makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because what makes sense is the sun being in Capricorn. So that's what making sense. You need to pay attention to what makes sense. The sun ain't in water, so you don't have to pay attention to the vibe. The vibe doesn't necessarily always make sense, but if you catch the vibe, you better listen to that vibe, motherfucker. But the sun ain't in goddamn motherfucking water. The sun ain't in fire. The sun ain't in air. So you ain't no need to be paying attention to the thinking and communicating. Ain't no need to be thinking that's the air. Ain't no need to be paying attention to the inspiration or something, or the fire, or the expression of something. Or the spirit of something. That's the fire. Ain't no need to be paying attention to the vibrations and the emotions of something, or how something make you feel. That's the water. Right now, you need to be paying attention to what the fuck makes sense. What the fuck is logical? The business of it. Does it make sense to go out tonight? You know what I'm saying? Is that club, is it worth paying motherfucking $25 to go in tonight or not? You know what I'm saying? You need to be paying attention to that shit. And the shit you need to be reacting and responding to is your relationships. Relate to someone and see if they on that shit or not. Don't just be jumping out like, oh, we going out tonight. You might be attaching yourself to someone who ain't got a dime in their goddamn pocket. So now they're expecting you to motherfucker help them go in, help them get in. You know what I'm saying? Now they need $5 from you and shit like that. Like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be $25 tonight. Motherfucker, you knew it wasn't going to be just $20 tonight. You knew they was going to add $5 tonight, motherfucker. Pay attention. Sun in Capricorn, motherfucker. See what I'm saying? Pay attention to what makes sense. Don't spend that fucking $5 on some on fucking a motherfucking energy fucking drink. A fucking Red Bull. You just spent fucking $3, and now you got fucking $2 that you just spent on a fucking Black and Mild and a pack of blunts, and now you fucking $5 short, and now you need me. No, nigga, I done told you the sun was in Capricorn. You see what I'm saying? So this is real shit. So you gotta understand how shit going on, y'all. Real shit, and that's the shit. That's the element. So I'm gonna go live tonight so we can go deep into these motherfucking energies, because that ain't it. I'm just talking about the sun and the goddamn moon. But what about tomorrow? What about the rest of the night? You know what I'm saying? What about the Mercury being in Sag? What about all this goddamn shit? See what I'm saying? Because that sound good, but can you communicate it? See, can you communicate it? See, we forgetting that the Mercury is still in motherfucking Sagittarius. Everything I just said sound good, but goddamn, can you communicate it? So now that breaks down where your Mercury at and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying? We gonna go live tonight and shit in this motherfucker, but I fucks with y'all. And we gonna do the Q&A. So make sure y'all motherfuckers download the motherfucker Google Hangout in this motherfucker. So y'all can call during the live. So we're gonna do the first half an hour where we chopping up the energies. Then the next half an hour we're gonna do the motherfucker call in so we can break down the energies and break down the motherfucking New Year resolutions that we're gonna break down. When I break down the numerology behind what's actually going down in 2019. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. I love y'all in this motherfucker.